Did Band for Band just turn into a real street war? Lil Baby and Central Cee look like the hottest duo in rap, but new footage allegedly shows Baby's people cornering the UK star in a public ambush. And the unedited clip of what really went down has everyone picking sides. Music, Central Cee. Real name Oakley Neil Caesarsu, was born on the 4th of June, 1998 in Ladbroke Grove, London to an English mother and a father of Guyanese and Chinese ancestry. He grew up in West London, splitting time between Ladbroke Grove and Shepherd's Bush after his parents separated when he was 7. As a kid, he wrote poetry and raps and showed them to his mother, a social work. American hip-hop came through his father. Reggae and dancehall came through the Notting Hill Carnival. Those influences merged with UK drill and grime and eventually turned a quiet kid who kept to himself in school into one of the biggest rappers, Music, the United Kingdom has ever produced. By 2022, Central Cee was a force. His single Doha peaked at number 2 on the UK Music Singles Chart and became the most streamed UK rap song on Spotify at the time. Then came Music Sprinter with Dave in June 2023, which became his first UK number 1 single and held a position for 10 weeks, becoming the longest-running number 1 rap song in the UK. By 2024, Sprinter had surpassed Doha as the most streamed UK rap song ever. Central Cee was no longer just a UK rapper doing well. He was crossing over where Lil Baby enters the picture. Dominique Jones, the Atlanta rapper Music, who built a reputation on melodic track and a Grammy-winning discography, was one of the hottest names in American rap. Central Cee wanted a feature. Not just any feature, but one that would bridge Music, the Atlantic. The song was called Band for Band. According to claims circulating on social media, Central Cee stated that when he called Lil Baby for the feature on Band for Band, Lil Baby charged him $400K and he paid immediately through Zelle. $400,000. Not a negotiation, not a back and forth, just a number and a Zelle transfer. Central Cee paid it without blinking. The song was initially previewed in late 2023 as a solo track from Cee, but in a March 2024 Instagram story, it was confirmed that Central Cee and Lil Baby were working on a collaboration. Finished product was released through record label CC4L and Columbia Records on 24th A Music of May 2024 and were produced by Gennaro and Ghana Beats. The track was a fusion of two worlds, Music, Central Cee's gritty UK drill cadence welded to Lil Baby's smooth Atlanta melodics. The result was massive. Band for Band debuted at number 4 on the UK singles chart and number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Music, Central Cee's highest entry on the latter. 2 weeks later, the track reached number 18 on the Hot 100, making it the highest charting UK rap music single in Billboard Hot 100 history. The music video, directed by Woe, showed Central Cee and Lil Baby parading through London in several Lamborghini Urus. Everything looked like a celebration. Two rappers from two continents matching. Energy, band for band. But what happened behind the scenes was a different story entirely. The thing about feature fees in hip-hop is that they operate on a hierarchy. The bigger the name, the bigger the price tag. A $400K feature fee from Lil Baby is steep, but for a rapper like Central Cee, who was trying to crack the American market, it was a cost of doing business. He paid it. The song dropped. It became a global smash, and for a while, everyone moved forward as if the partnership was going to be one of those cross-continental alliances that defined a new era in rap. But then came the flip side. According to those same claims, when Lil Baby later wanted Central Cee on his album and Central Cee charged him the same $400K back, Lil Baby refused and said they're not even in the same league. The same $400K, not more, not some inflated number to make a point. The exact same figure Central Cee had paid without hesitation. That refusal, and the reported justification behind it, is what cracked the foundation of whatever relationship these two had. Think about what that means. Central Cee paid $400K because he respected Lil Baby's position. When the roles were reversed, and Cee quoted the same rate, he was told they weren't on the same level. That's not a business disagreement. That's a statement about hierarchy, about who belongs where, and about who gets to set their own price in this industry. And the money dispute didn't, music, stop there. In a separate interview, Central Cee opened up about claiming that Lil Baby betrayed his trust regarding their collab, Band for Band. According to Cee, The song had generated over $23 million across all streaming platforms, but Lil Baby only paid him $500K. And since then, Baby hadn't been answering his calls. $23 million. The song that Central Cee had conceptualized, that he had previewed as a solo music track before ever bringing Lil Baby into the picture, had generated $23 million. And according to Central Cee, his cut was $500,000, while his calls went to voicemail. Now, it's important to note that feature fees and royalty splits in hip-hop are notoriously complicated. There are publishing deals, distribution agreements, label takes, and producer royalties that all eat into gross revenue before an artist sees their share. It's possible that there are contractual explanations for the split, but what matters here is a perception. And the perception from Central Cee's side was that he got finessed by someone he thought was a partner. This is also where Central Cee's personal life became relevant to the story. In his interview, he also opened up about a gambling addiction he'd been struggling with. That vulnerability made the financial grievance even more pointed. Here was a man publicly admitting he had a problem with money management and simultaneously claiming that a collaborator, Music, had shortchanged him on millions. The optics made the situation heavier than a standard rap beef. So, the stage was set. Central Cee had gone public with his grievances. He named the numbers. He described the feature fee dispute. He talked about unanswered phone calls and betrayed trust. And Lil Baby's camp had stayed relatively quiet until they didn't. Reports began circulating that individuals affiliated with Lil Baby confronted Central Cee in a public setting, and it was not a calm conversation. The confrontation happened in front of onlookers, which is exactly why it spread across the internet the way it did. When something goes down behind closed doors, it stays a rumor. When it happens in front of a crowd, it becomes a headline. The details of the confrontation are still being pieced together as multiple accounts from witnesses and social media users have painted slightly different pictures. But the broad strokes are consistent. People close to Lil Baby approached Central Cee. Words were exchanged, and the situation escalated to the point where it became physically confrontational. This was not a handshake meeting that went sideways. The energy from the jump was hostile. What makes this incident particularly loaded is a dynamic at play. Central Cee operates in a different ecosystem. He's a UK artist. His crew, his affiliates, his security infrastructure, all of it is built around the British music scene. When you're on somebody else's turf surrounded by somebody else's people, a confrontation carries a different weight. It's not just about who said what. It's about the implicit threat that comes with being outnumbered in an unfamiliar environment. And the public nature of the confrontation was clearly intentional. If Lil Baby's affiliates wanted to send a message privately, they could have. The fact that it happened in front of everyone suggests it was designed to humiliate, to make a statement, to re-establish a hierarchy that Central Cee had challenged when he aired his grievances publicly. In the street politics of hip-hop, going public with financial disputes is often seen as a violation. It doesn't matter if the grievance is legitimate. The act of airing it out, of putting someone's business in the open, crosses a line that some circles consider unforgivable. And that's likely why the reaction from Lil Baby's camp was so aggressive. From their perspective, Central Cee had taken a private matter, and turned it into public embarrassment. The confrontation was, in a sense, the response to that embarrassment. A physical statement that said, "We don't handle things this way." The irony is that the confrontation itself has only amplified the story. Whatever Central Cee's initial claims might have faded into over time, the public altercation has given them new life. Now, it's not just about money and feature fees. It's about safety, respect, and the lengths people in this industry are willing to go to when they feel disrespected. This situation between Central Cee and Lil Baby's camp is not just about two rappers and a check. It sits inside a much broader tension that has been building for years between UK rap and American hip-hop. For a long time, the relationship was straightforward. American rappers were the establishment. UK rappers were the upstarts who borrowed sounds, adapted them, and built their own lane. Features with American artists were seen as cosigns, a stamp of approval from the people who invented the genre. UK artists paid premium music feature fees because the perceived value of an American cosign was enormous. It opened doors to playlists, to music press coverage, to an audience that might never have heard of you otherwise. But the landscape has shifted. Artists like Central Cee, Dave, and Stormzy have proven that UK rap can stand on its own commercially and culturally. Central Cee Sprinter with Dave Music held the #1 position in the UK for 10 weeks. His debut album, Can't Rush Greatness, became his second #1 on the UK albums chart. He's collaborated with J. Cole, Ice Spice, Asake, and Dave, all of them huge names across multiple markets. He launched his streetwear brand Cena World, collaborated with Nike Music, and partnered with Paris Saint-Germain for a custom kit. Central Cee is not a niche UK act hoping for American validation. He's a global artist. So, when Lil Baby reportedly, Music, told Central Cee they weren't in the same league, he wasn't just making a comment about one rapper's market position. He was intentionally or not, Music, reinforcing an old hierarchy that many people in the UK rap scene feels outdated. The idea that an American rapper can charge a British rapper $400K, Music, but refuse to pay the same amount in return because they are not in the same league. That is the exact attitude that UK artists have been pushing Music back against for years, and the confrontation made it worse because it wasn't just a verbal disagreement anymore. Music, having affiliates physically confront him. Artists in public takes the power dynamic from a business argument to something that feels personal and intimidating. It sends a message not just to Central Cee, but to every UK artist who might think about asserting their worth to an American counterpart. Know your place. That's why the reaction online has been so fierce. UK rap fans see this as an attack on their entire scene, not just. On Central Cee, American rap fans are split, some defending Lil Baby's right to set his own terms, others acknowledging that the situation looks bad, and hip-hop commentators across the board, Music, are pointing out that this kind of behavior is exactly what gives the industry a reputation for being hostile and predatory. Central Cee's 6th EP, All Roads Lead Home, was released on March 19, 2026, proving that he hasn't slowed down creatively despite the controversy. And in February 2026, Music, during a live stream, Central Cee announced that he had converted to Islam and changed his name to Akil. A personal aggression coming from Lil Baby's camp has further divided public opinion. Here's a man who is publicly evolving and being met with hostility for asking to be paid what is owed. The broader rap community is watching this closely because it sets a precedent. If Central Cee backs down, it reinforces the idea that UK artists should accept whatever terms American artists dictate. If he stands firm, it could reshape how cross-Atlantic collaborations are negotiated going forward. Music, where this goes from here. So, let's take stock of where things stand. Central Cee claims he paid Lil Baby $400K for a feature, Music, that a resulting song made over $23 million, that his share was a fraction of what the track earned, and that when he tried to charge the same fee in return, Music, he was dismissed. He said all of this publicly in interviews and in statements that circulated across social media. Music, in response, individual connected to Lil Baby confronted him in a public setting, Music, in front of witnesses in a way that was hostile enough to become an immediate talking point across the internet. Now, Music, Lil Baby himself, has not directly addressed all the specifics of the financial claims Central Cee has made. And it's worth acknowledging that we are getting one side of the story in detail. Feature fees, royalty structures, and contract terms in music, hip-hop are complex. It's possible that Lil Baby's team would dispute Central Cee's characterization of the revenue split. It's possible that there are contractual nuances that explain why the payments were structured the way they were. The music industry is rarely as simple as one person paid another person and got cheated. But here's Music, what we can say. The confrontation happened. Multiple people saw it. It was not a private disagreement that leaked. It was a public act witnessed in real time. And regardless of who is right about the money, the decision to have affiliates confront another artist in front of everyone crosses a line that the industry talks about but rarely sees so openly. Lil Baby's camp has historically operated with the weight of Atlanta behind them. Music, There have been prior incidents involving altercations connected to Lil Baby's associates, including the February 2026 situation that made national news when a verbal altercation occurred between two groups inside a business and the victim, Music, was injured when shots were fired. While that incident was a separate matter entirely and Lil Baby was not directly linked to the violence, it paints a picture of the environment that surrounds Music, his circle, an environment where disagreements have at times escalated beyond words. Central C, for his part, comes from Music, a different world. He comes from Ladbroke Grove and Shepherd's Bush. He grew up around UK street culture, which has its own codes and its own music intensity, but is also an artist who has consistently positioned himself as someone who leads with music, not with conflict. Even during the Band 4 Band recording sessions, Music, Central C described working with Lil Baby as inspiring, watching him freestyle lyrics in real time. There was genuine respect there, at least on CS side. And that's what makes this situation so complicated. This didn't start with disrespect. It started with admiration. Central C admired Lil Baby enough to pay $400K without haggling. He put Baby on a track that he had originally envisioned as a solo record because he believed the collaboration would elevate both of them. And by all commercial metrics, it did. Band 4 Band charted higher than any UK rap song in Hot 100 history. It was a win for everyone. But money poisons things. Perceived disrespect accelerates the rut. And the silence from Lil Baby when Central C tried to reach him, the unanswered calls, the refusal to pay the same rate, the dismissal of being, equals, all of that built up pressure until it exploded into public view. Now, the question isn't whether Central C and Lil Baby will make another song together. That ship has probably sailed. The question is what this does to the culture. Does it make UK artists more cautious about working with American acts? Does it make American artists reconsider how they treat international collaborators? Or does it just become another entry in the long list of hip-hop beefs that burn hot for a few weeks and then fade into the background? Based on the intensity of the public reaction, Music, and based on the fact that real money and real physical confrontation are involved, this one doesn't look like it's going to fade anytime soon. Central C is too big to be intimidated into silence. Lil Baby's camp is too prideful to back down, and the internet, as always, will keep the flames fed. What we're watching in real time is a collision of two worlds that were supposed to be working together, and the fallout is going to be felt across both sides of the Atlantic for a long time.